We're back with another tier list. Today, we're going to be ranking every UFC main event so far in 2024 after UFC 308. Let's get right into it. We're going to go in chronological order from S to F tier. Dylan, thoughts on Strickland Duplessis?
The what's the beginning of the year? Like, we have watched so many fights, like I'm starting to forget them a little bit.
It's been a long 2024.
It has been a long 2024. It has been a long 2024. And like, oh, this one's tough. I remember Strickland losing and being like, what just happened? Like, Strickland won that fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, Drick is, but like, it was a close decision, which means it was a good fight.
Yeah, it was competitive, but Strickland's style doesn't really make for good fights in the first place, really. So I don't know.
It's tough because it's like, where does a fight like this go?
I'm thinking immediately C tier.
Yeah, I was C or B, but I'm kind of thinking about a future fight that I think is more of a B tier fight. So we'll go C for now. As you know, we can always change it up at the end.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We got UFC 298 Volkanovski versus Topuria. Topuria got the KO second round. It was a little bit of hype leading into this fight. Like, I think that's something we also have to take into account. The hype leading to this was Volk coming off a KO loss to Makhachev, and then the press conferences where he's wearing an old man shirt. That did not age well. And then Topuria, he's decent at hyping fights.
Yeah, it's tough because we're going to have a tier that's likely going to be like for all of the dominant wins. You know, like when we get to those later Poeton wins. I think that Volkanovski versus Topuria in terms of a main event fight, I would like to say B.
Yeah, I'm happy with B tier because it was exciting.
Yeah.
And it was competitive in that first round. And then I think looking back on it, I think if you look back in a couple years when Topuria has built up a little bit of his legacy, this will be a very good win for him.
The thing is for me too is I'm very biased in terms of like on cards where we had all of the boys together watching it. Like those are so much more hype and you're all in it together compared to when it's just me and you.
Yeah.
Like those are good, but when we have all of us together, like it adds an extra element to that. So we're obviously going to come into this with our personal bias as well.
Yeah,
so
and we had a lot of people over for this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking at Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera, it's above Volk Topuria.
Is it?
Yeah, like watching Sean dominate,
the knee up the middle.
Yeah.
I think it's in the same tier.
Yeah, top B.
Okay, we'll go
top B.
I'm happy with that because we were at your house for that one.
Yes.
One of the rare occasions, and then I don't know. It was like I'm not in love with this fight or anything.
But it was pretty wicked watching Sean destroy him.
Yeah, and I think the knee up the middle is the one main moment that I can remember from that fight. And then at the end, Sean got like dropped by a body punch, which was kind of interesting.
Which was weird, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is B tier too high?
I don't think so.
It's not on the same level of Strickland and Duplessis.
It's above that.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on. We got Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill, the first Alex Pereira fight of many.
Oh, this one was so hype. Like it was such a hype ending, but like the fight wasn't all that great. Pereira has had better fights this year, but this was the best KO of the year for Pereira.
And in terms of a moment, like an overall moment, it was the best moment he's had. He has a lot of viral clips this year, though.
Like, I kind of want to go A. Like, I think it's above those two fights.
Main event, though. It didn't... Okay, how are we judging this? Because this only lasted one round.
Yeah.
Right? And if we're looking at, like, a goated fight would be, like...
Like, which fight would you want to go watch again? I mean, this one is so short, so it's easy to watch again. I've watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Marlon Vera versus O'Malley again.
Yeah. I think Rountree versus Pereira is a good one to watch again.
I think that's that's Pereira's best fight of the year.
Yeah.
So that maybe top of B.
Top of B tier. Oh, this is going to be another video where we're loading up B tier. Can already tell. Okay, let's move on. We got Pantoja versus Urseg.
Another good fight. This is the issue with main events.
Yeah.
And this one we had all five Dodson's Corner boys there.
And in terms of a title fight, this one went all 5 rounds, was competitive all 5 rounds. I think we have to be careful not to let the bias of the whole card, because this card was, let's be real, is pretty bad in terms of star power. We had Kaio on it, we had this fight, we had Aldo, so it was fine, but for a casual, it's pretty bad. In terms of this fight, though, it was a banger, it was a war. Urseg made it close.
But it's flyweight.
I know, but in terms of a main event, there wasn't hype behind it at all.
Above Strickland Duplessis?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I think that's very fair.
Okay, this next fight is where we get interesting because Lucas, Have we had an S tier fight this year?
An S tier fight. Well, look, I like Topuria's fights, so I would argue some of his fights, like the Max fight was really good.
Yeah.
It might be like top of A tier though.
Yeah, like I know for sure that Poirier Islam is at least A.
At least.
But have we had an S tier main event? Actually, I think I have a fight above. This was my fight of the year for a while. I think it goes A for now.
It was, yeah.
Like we just haven't had an S tier.
Yeah, we haven't had a McGregor crazy KO.
Yeah, like if you had the BMF fight at 300, if that was the main event for like a championship, that's an S tier fight. That's 100%. An amazing fight. But I think that this goes A tier for now.
Okay.
We could move it up depending on how many fights we put in S tier.
Yeah.
Or an A tier.
I'm happy with that because he did get submitted at the end. The submission was so clean that when he grabbed the leg, that was amazing. Poirier had his moments.
But and there was good striking from both sides.
Yeah, and I think Islam really just got to show off some of his new striking though. That was the main thing. Let's move on. We got Pereira versus Prohaska, fight number 2, I guess. This was a second round KO really early on. It was an exciting fight.
Yeah, like it's like the fight was better than the Jamal Hill Pereira, but it didn't have the same moment.
Yeah.
Like the KO was awesome, but it wasn't as good as the other KO.
It wasn't as viral, but in terms of a fight, I think it was a little bit better because we just got to see more.
Yeah.
And Pereira just outclassed him on the feet. And the stare down, we have to think about the stare down.
Yeah, and it was 303, so we had this was an event that we set up. Like we had been working on this event for months, McGregor versus Chandler, and then it's Pereira versus Yuri and Lopez versus Ige.
It's not A tier, is it?
No,
it's not. It's B tier.
Yeah, but the thing is like they're all main events, so they're all bound to be good.
I know, that's the thing.
We'll get to some of these fights.
Yeah, well, this main event.
This fight sucked. It just put such a sour taste in my mouth.
And before people go in the comments and call us Bilal haters, I don't even hate Bilal that much. Like, I don't love his style of fighting, but I don't think he's a bad champion, and he's not boring. He does make interesting storylines for the division. Hit that Shavkat fight. There's an Usman fight for him. There's a Leon rematch in the future. Like he makes exciting storylines, but this fight in particular, making it at 5 a.m. for the UK guys, completely just a stupid move.
Yeah.
Stupid move. I don't care if you're gonna call it cope that Leon Edwards didn't look good. I genuinely think that he did not look 100% in that fight. And overall, this fight just didn't have a lot of damage to it as well, except for Leon, those elbows at the end of the 5th round. Like, do that earlier, please.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go at the best D tier.
I think it's D because I think there's one worse fight this year.
Okay, let's go D tier. Because, yeah, Leon did have some moments, and there was striking. There was boxing from Bilal. Yeah. He did look good in his boxing. I think that's very fair. Don't come after us. Okay, let's move on. We got Duplessis versus Adesanya. Interesting one.
Because I feel like it wasn't that bad of a fight. Like, I feel like it was a pretty decent, Dricus was winning, but it was still competitive.
100%. I think it was about 2-2 going. Like, if that 4th round would have concluded, could have been 2-2, could have been 3-1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just feels weird. Dricus fights feel weird to score because he has such a bad style. It's like, can you call this guy like a skilled martial artist?
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Is it better than Volk Topuria?
I guess that's the question we have to answer. Is it better than Volk Topuria?
Like, I'm okay with top C, but I could also be okay with B tier.
Okay, how does it look here? Duplessis.
I think it's a step ahead of those two.
It is a step ahead of those two, but...
Yeah.
Classic tier list. Classic Dodson's Corner tier list.
Exactly.
All right, this one. O'Malley versus Marab.
F.
We didn't actually even get to watch this live.
We didn't even watch it. We were at Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, I watched it afterwards, and I was like trying not to nod off.
we had bought tickets to this comedy festival months in advance, and we were like, oh, same night as 306. Like, did we cancel this comedy festival? Thank goodness we didn't. Mm-hmm. Because this card, the card early on was good, but the last 2 fights just ruined it.
Co-main and main event absolutely ruined this.
Snooze fast.
Yeah, and then the event as well. Like, you're doing the UFC Sphere for the first time, and this is your main event.
Yeah.
Dude, it's going F tier. Come on.
Because the disappointment, too.
100%. You're like, okay, Sean needs to find this knockout. Fourth round, Sean needs to find this knockout. Fifth round, Sean really needs to find this knockout.
As he's just down there on the ground, like they're having a nap. Good thing that the graphics on the screen were cool, right? Because the fight sucked.
Yeah, I would rather have better fights, I'm going to be honest. All right, let's move on. We got our second last, some would say penultimate. If you're from the
bangers to end off the year.
Can you not interrupt me next time?
No.
Okay. Khalil Rountree versus Alex Pereira. One of the best title fights.
The emotional roller coaster it put us on helps it.
Yeah.
Because we were freaking out, jumping up and down. Like we were all like, oh, it was crazy. Like my dad's upstairs the next day. He's like, what was going on? I was like, Pereira almost lost, Dad. Pereira almost lost.
Dylan's in tears.
I was like freaking out. I was like, and then seeing fourth round Pereira just go.
Ultra Instinct. Yeah, this is A tier. Is it better than Poirier?
It's my main event of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I guess I have to decide where I rank it.
Yeah. I'm okay with it being behind Poirier Islam. I'm okay with it. I just know it belongs in A tier.
But I think the damage output was higher in this fight.
Yeah.
I think the finish was equally as good, maybe even a little bit more exciting. The body strikes were vicious. And it was more
Islam Poirier had a better build-up though.
True.
It was like, can Dustin do it? You know, it was all about that.
Yes.
This one had a bad build-up but also at the same time it helped the fight because everyone counted out Rountree.
Yeah.
Pereira layup, and then these first two rounds, Rountree comes out and wins them. It's like, what is going on? What happened to Pereira?
I think just because of the build-up and the spectacle, we have to put...
Yeah, it was a spectacle.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, and lastly, we got UFC 308. This was the most hyped card of the year. I mean, we were thinking about this for like a month beforehand.
We've been thinking about this for the whole year.
And then it finally happened.
And it wasn't quite what we wanted.
Well, I wanted this.
Like, in the fight, we could have been better.
It could have been a 5-round war.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did what he said he was going to do. He KO'd Max Holloway for the first time. That in itself is like a spectacle.
Yeah.
So it has to be above all these fights.
I think it's an A.
It's an A tier. Is it above? Yes, 100%. The level of competition, two of the best guys in the world right now. Pereira is one of the best guys. Khalil's ranked 8 in a mass division.
That's true. Like, I think it's soured because Max lost. Like, I think this is one of the fights that I'll be able to, in like a month's time, go back and look back on and be like, oh yeah, that was amazing. But I think I'm soured on it still because Max lost.
It's like Dricus and Adesanya.
Yeah.
You couldn't accept that for a couple weeks, and then you come around to Dricus, putting an S in every tier list.
I don't ever want to hear the word "come" and Dricus in the same sentence.
Come and Dricus. Okay.
I think that's fair.
That's fair.
Because I don't think we had an S tier main event.
No, I guess we didn't. Hey, there's still time. What's next?
Shavkat JDM? Oh, please, Dana, anything. All right, that's our tier list.
No S tier.
For the first time ever, Dodson's Corner History, no S tier. Are we being crazy by not putting something in S tier? I don't think so. We don't grade on a curve around here.
Dude, check out this Full Violence shirt though. Check out this Full Violence.
Fashion Nova, baby. $15.
Scammed price. Yeah.
Except for mine came with a hole in it. It's had a hole in it the whole time. Before we wrap it up for today, everyone needs to go down to the description and press that subscribe button, because if we can hit 2K subs by UFC 309, this guy right here, Lucas, is going blonde for Charles Du Bronx Oliveira.
I never said that.
I said it right now. So go subscribe. We'll bleach that thing. Look at making him look like Charles Oliveira, Brian Battle, Eminem. Who knows what'll happen? Go subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Bleach that thing.